Good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. There is one announcement to be had, and that is football is back. No cups, no pre-season friendly, but the championship is back. And today we're going to do the first round of games, or the first game week of games, doing the prediction. And here it is. We're going to do like a edited one where it shows up each score. Where I found this website. Um, where you can literally just predict it, what you think, and then there's little league table underneath, which we'll look at afterwards. But I will be doing a video when the transfer window shuts, ranking the transfers of each club, and then doing a prediction because people tend to do some before the transfers and then do an updated one, which I just don't see the point in doing that. Obviously, people think, oh, it's more videos to do, but I don't see the point of it. Um, but yeah, I'll do my own prediction league table, and then it'll be kind of interesting to see after even with the prediction ones, are different they are between my predictions compared to the full season predictions. And then obviously it'll be interesting to see how it actually fares to the actual league table. But yeah, no, let's get into the gravy, the beautiful stuff. And it starts this Friday night against Wolverhampton and Blackburn. I can't see any other result than a Wolverhampton win. I don't think it'll be like a drumming how people are expecting. Um, Obviously, I'm not doing my full league prediction now, but everyone thinks Blackburn's going to get relegated, and I'm not one of them. I think Blackburn probably will stay up because I don't know. I think they've got a good manager in that situation to survive in Tony Mowbray, um, and a couple of signings as well. I just saw Sam Mosley just went to Blackburn, which it's a good pickup. But yeah, I think I'd go for a 2-0 Wolves win on that one. Going into early kickoff Saturday, Bolton Preston. Um, like I say, I'm just looking now on their um their previous game. Bolton lost 1-0 to Wednesday, and Preston drew against Huddersfield, where both them teams are in League One, and you looked that they're going to do playoffs, if not better. But I do see this as a draw. I think I see it as a 1-1 draw, just because home advantage for Bolton. But people thinking they're going to do quite like not playoffs well, but well through a newly promoted side. I'm probably going to base most of my predictions of obviously the game they've just played, which brings me on to Bristol City Millwall, which I watched Bristol City's game against Walsall, and a lot of people are saying how good Bristol City's going to do. They're thinking that they're going to be playoffs, and because the shines they've made. But that game I watched against Walsall, for me, they were terrible. They were just so boring to watch, and to say they played against Walsall, who were in I think they're in League One. I'm sure they're in League One. They could even be League Two. Um, forgive me, but yeah, they did lose against them as well as signing two good strikers, and like I said, neither of them really. No one in the squad even showed anything. So I am going for a 2-0 win for Millwall, because obviously Millwall were third last season. I know they drew against QPR in their Gaming Cup, but I just think that I don't know. I just see a Millwall win. Charlton Derby. Derby lost 2-1 to Lincoln. In Cup. Obviously, Lincoln's just come up, and Charlton won 3-1 against Cheltenham. which you'd kind of expect. Um, I don't think Derby will be the Derby of last season. I really don't think it. And Charlton, I think they'll be in and around the bottom area of survival, same as kind of Blackburn. Um, I do feel like Derby are going to nick that though. I said 2-1. Going on to Middlesbrough, Lincoln. I don't know. Like I say, that they played Wrexham, Middlesbrough. Obviously they won 1-0. But it weren't a comfortable win. So Wrexham had a couple of chances. If they actually, you know, I think if they had a better striker, they might have won Middlesbrough there. And obviously Lincoln won Derby, which were to be fair a good result for them. But I think Middlesbrough nick it. Again, I'm going to say a 1-0 win, another 1-0 win for Borough. Just because, again, these until like you know you see people sort of drifting away from each other from like top to bottom. I think the first few games are always kind of they're always kind of close. But we'll see. Norwich versus West Brom. Norwich, I think they both won. Yeah, they both won 4-1. Norwich won 4-1 against MK Dons, and West Brom won 4-1 over Rotherham. But I do think Norwich will be up there this season. Like I'd say playoffs. Definitely between, like I say, 8th and 4th, anywhere between there. Probably, I'd have Norwich there. West Brom, obviously, I think they'll be better than last season, but I don't think they'll be up in the playoffs. And obviously, Norwich being at home as well. What it'd be, I think it's a tough one, especially the first game of the season. I'm gonna go for a 2-2 because obviously they both scored quite a few goals, obviously against lesser opposition, like. But I can just see a 2-2 draw between those two. Portsmouth QPR. Nah, for me, I don't know. I feel like people are thinking that Portsmouth are gonna go on, but I think they're gonna stay around the same. I think unless they get some good signings, and I think they can be around the bottom. Not, I don't think they're gonna be like relegated bottom, but you know fighting around there. I think they might be. QPR as well. They drew with Millwall, which is quite a good draw. Portsmouth did lose 3-1 to West Ham, but I think that's kind of expected. Um, Again, another close one. QPR have made some couple of decent signings, to be fair. I think they'll be a bit better than they were last season if they keep the injuries out, because they had quite a few last year. Um, Yeah, I'm going to say 2-1, 2-1 QPR. My head were saying 3-1, but I think that's a bit too much for the first game of the season. But Stoke, Swansea. Swansea did pick up Ross Stewart, which is a very good free signing. But Stoke winning 2-0 against Oldham, and Swansea losing 1-0 to Birmingham. Obviously, completely different, kettle of fish in opposition, but Stoke have made a lot of signings, but I just don't see him as like, oh, that's like an eye opener. Ed Turner. They're just meh signings. So it's like they're spending a lot of money, but on I don't. It don't feel like good quality players. Um, I'm gonna go a 1-0 win between them two. Say 1-0, 1-0 win to Swansea. Nah, for us against Birmingham, Friday night, Saturday night, at 5:30. Like I will be at work. Like I say, I'll finish at 6, so I'll probably see the probably about the second half of that game. So we'll see. obviously we won 3-0 against Mansfield, and obviously we're just seeing that. Um, go on. Birmingham won Swansea 1-0. Birmingham are one of them where everyone expects them to be up there, like, round the playoffs, but I just don't rate the manager. I think they just play so much, like, just boring football, just sideways passes, and think it's like they're thinking they're too good for what they are. Like, you know, they struggle to break teams down, and even we were rubbish, and what was score now? I think like 3-0, 4-0. We had them at our ground, and we had that little stint where we did really well when Wilder came in. Um, it's a tough one, this one, because Birmingham, while they don't score many, they don't concede many. Um, and I think with us, we're one of the most unpredictable teams, there is, because we'll have games where we win 3-0, like on Sunday, but then the next week we'll play someone where we should probably win against, and we'll go and get battered like 3-1. So it's really hard to decide, but I do have to back us. I do think a 2-1 win for us. You know, I think that's more hope than than prediction, but I think it's always hard to predict your own team in it. But yeah, I do think it'll be a very tough game to have first, but I think we'll win that. Because I remember last season we were in uh, our first game against Bristol City after beating them twice in playoffs. Obviously with Ruben Sellers, and we got battered 4-1, and I was like, oh no, oh no. So yeah, we don't want to repeat that. Then going into Sunday, we're Watford, Southampton. Watford, another one kind of like us. They're very hard to predict because they have so many like unknown players coming in from Udinese that they could be superstars or they could be like League Two stand players. We don't really have the clue, but they did win 1-0 against Crawley, and Southampton won 2-0 against Colchester. Um, I, c- I can only see a Southampton win here. I'm gonna say 2-0. Then a big game um, to kick us off. I don't know what time it's about 4 o'clock. I think kickoff time is. But obviously West Ham won 3-1 against Portsmouth, and Burnley drew 1-1 when Notts County and got through on penalties. But I think West Ham and Wolves are going to be up there as in automatics. I can't really see a team pushing them to the automatics. But Burnley, I think they're going to be in the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to be, world beaters. I do think they're going to be like fifth or something like that. But I can only see a West Ham win here because Burnley's, I don't know, I can't really think of any signings they've really made where I think, wow, that's a good sign. They have got obviously great players as well, but West Ham have got kind of ridiculous players for this league, and I can see them and Wolves easily pushing 100 points. Um, so yeah, I do think it is going to be a 2-0 win for West Ham. Could probably possibly be more, but I just think it's going to be, because it's the first game, it might be a bit, like a chess match really, but I do think it'll be 2-0. And then Cardiff, Wrexham, you know, Welsh derby. Again, I think it's going to be tough. Wrexham do play a bit more like gung-ho, I've seen, when I saw him against Middlesbrough. They did create a lot of chances, but they just needed that striker to finish them. I think he was called Smith or something, the striker, and I don't think he had a good game. Um, I see this being a 1-1 draw. And that is it for first game week. You obviously press calculate. This will be, to my predictions, the league table as we're going in. We have Millwall top, Southampton, West Ham, Wolves. Obviously, you can say I'm not going to go through every team, but playoffs. Um, Obviously, it's not really much to see with it being just one game, but that's how I think it'll end up being. Obviously, I think some scores will be different. As obviously two, threes, could be different, but that's how we are. Like I said, we'll do this every week. I'll try and do even midweek games. Because of work, I can't guarantee. But with the days I'm off, I can try and get a video in before the games happen. But yeah, that's it's just exciting for the leagues to be back. But thank you guys very much for watching. Um, if you do like it, like and subscribe. It helps a lot. And yeah, just bring it on. Come on, you Blades.